Hello, bhai. I heard that you have a list of Casio watches that are affordable substitutes for G-Shock squares. Is that right?
Yes, you heard that right. I have that
Could
list.
you please share that list? I would like to buy a couple of those,
I
please.
could, but first, let's start with this. Step into my office, please. In pursuit of a watch for daily use, sometimes you stumble upon a regular Casio watch, a Youth Series Casio watch that looks and feels like a G-Shock. If you are someone who is utterly careful and never drop their watches or bump into door frames or go deep sea diving, do you really need G-Shocks? This is from a long list of Casio watches that are affordable G-Shock substitutes. This is for you if you don't really need G-Shocks or if you can't afford a G-Shock. Let's dive right in. Namaste everybody, welcome back to TikTok Treasures. Casio WS1700H was released last year, but it came with a faulty module and it had to be recalled. In the Casio community, it was talked about on forums about this particular issue. Some bought and kept it as they didn't really mind the issue, as they probably didn't have use for this faulty feature, while some others couldn't bear to see their beloved Casio selling a faulty watch. Eventually, Casio fixed the module and re-released this model, and now this is one of the most practical G-Shock-like watches in Casio's portfolio. In fact, it carries more features than the basic G-Shocks. The Casio WS1700H retails at Rs 2,995 in India and $30 in the US. There are two other colorways if you don't fancy this utilitarian green. These days, you can buy this at discounted rates. It's about being at the right place at the right time. And when I say right time, I mean live like an owl and stay up till midnight to grab those offers. Let's take a closer look at Casio WS1700H for the first time on TikTok Treasures. Casio WS1700H has an octagonal shape and the all resin body is loaded with ridges and false screws, giving it a 3D appearance, and from the side a sandwich. Even though the crystal is resin, the elevated ridges protect it to a certain degree, but eventually this will gain some scratches. The buttons aren't angular but tucked right next to those ridges, and the labels aren't aligned with them. Accessing these buttons can feel tricky at first, but you will get used to it. You will get the hang of it. The case back is pretty standard stainless steel with 4 screws. I know there is no shock resistance on this watch, but it looks like it can handle a few drops and bumps and one apocalypse. The dimensions mentioned for the WS1700H on the official website, Casio's official website, they look off. So when I check, the WS1700H has a case width of about 45 millimeters, lug to lug of 47 millimeters, lug width of 18 millimeters, and case thickness of 15.2 millimeters. Real chunky. You need the right wrist to pull this off. The WS1700H has a colorful LCD display, and it might feel whimsical but helps visually segregate the different segments. I love the pop of green, which is Casio's way of giving it a hint of retro. We have the timekeeping mode with date in the main window. The small circular window shows the current time through a digitized analog dial whose purpose I have always believed to be aesthetic than practical. We have two small windows, one showing the current phase of the moon and another to show the current tide in your location. The Casio WS1700H comes with 10-year battery and 100-meter water resistance, so you can use as you wish and let the future you worry about battery change. The amber LEDs light up the whole display, predominantly the bottom part, which is what you want to be able to read time in the dark and you don't care about the rest. Let's discuss more features of this watch in some detail in the next segment. This is the main timekeeping mode. We have the current time at 22:36, that is 10:36 p.m. Thursday, the 3rd of July, 7:3. Press the mode button once, the bottom left button. It takes you to this section which can display two things, right? At the press of this button, you can toggle between these two things. The first one is this moon phase, and we are 7.6 days into the full moon. And that is why you can see here that half the moon is in black and half is in white. And the date is displayed as well. So on the 3rd of July 2025, this is the phase of the moon in currently. And pressing this button, top left button, it takes you to the tide graph. So this is the same date, 3rd of July 2025 at 6 a.m. This is the tide, it's high tide. But then you have to do a few settings, which I will talk about later. And press the mode button once more. It takes you to the stopwatch, the chrono mode, which is pretty standard. I think this is the start, stop, reset. Here the current time is not displayed when the stopwatch is being operated. And press the mode button once more, takes you to the countdown timer, 24 hours countdown timer. Here the good thing is when the timer is running, the current time continues to be displayed right above it. Okay, reset. Press the mode button once more. It takes you to the alarm mode, and we get 1, 2, and 3 alarms. And press it once more. This is where you can set the hourly chime on or off. Pretty standard. Press the mode button once more, and this is the dual time. You can set a second time for another city, especially if you are a traveler or you work with clients abroad. This will come in handy. And press the mode button once more. You are back in the main timekeeping mode. For accurate tide graph and moon phase, you will have to set 4 important things. One is the current date. So you just go here, press and hold. The current date is set. It's 2025, 3rd of July. So we don't need to set that. Let's go back to main timekeeping mode and press and hold, adjust, and press once more. And the remaining 3 things that you need to set are here. First is the coordinated universal time. It is at +1, and for India it is 5.5. We are 5.5 hours ahead. So set it at 5.5. Once you're done, cycle through to the next. This is the longitude, and for Mangalore, my city, you can just Google your city and find out the coordinates, and you have to set the longitude. For my city, it is 74.8 something. Yeah, so you just approximate it and take it to 75. Yep, and cycle through to the direction, and it is 75° east. And then you cycle through. This is the complicated bit because it is not readily available and the watch automatically doesn't set it. It's something called as the lunitidal interval. It's essentially the lag between the position of the moon and the high tide that results from that position of the moon, and that time lag is what goes here, and it is not available freely in a chart for all locations worldwide. You will have to do the math. For most places, you will have to open 2 different websites, one website checking the position of the moon and another website checking the tide at that particular time, and then you have to do the difference and enter it here. So once you're done, you're good to go. And what you see as a result of setting these 4 things in your date, your UTC, your longitude, and the lunitidal interval is this. This is the result of those settings. The moon phase that is accurate and the current tide that is being displayed, it is based on that data I told you that you need to enter. This resin strap feels heavy duty. It's thick and long, and it's for larger wrists. I really hope that Casio starts bringing in stainless steel buckle for the Youth series watches. For smaller wrists, this might feel a bit out of place and awkward, not just the watch, but also the longer strap. This done. Let's try on this bad boy. On my 6.8-inch wrist, it feels comfortable, and it definitely doesn't hide away in obscurity thanks to its bulky 3D appearance. It is bigger than a G-Shock. This is a sports watch combined with 2 features of moon phase and tide graph, which you may not have use for, but on the daily, you can definitely wear it and step out and use the basic digital watch functions. Sometimes that's all you need, the basic functions. I am digging the WS1700H. I hope you guys found this video fun and informative. If you have any questions regarding this watch, the Casio WS1700, please drop them in the comments and I will respond to as many as I can. And there is more coming. So I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay tuned and stay classy.